What is up, guys? If anyone was wondering how I got this, wait until the end of the video to find out. So, the iPod Touch, 4th generation, is 8 years old this year. Originally released in 2010, with an A4 chip and 256 megabytes of RAM, shortly after the iPhone 4. And what is it like today, in 2018? So, how I got my iPod Touch is that I got mine for Christmas in 2012, 2 years after the iPod Touch got announced. As you can see, my one is in white, and it had a case on for a very long time, so its flat's not that badly scratched, but it is scratched. And yeah, I'll show you in further detail, and any other condition, reason, things. So, mine is the 8GB, which was in 2012. This is not the 2011, not the 2012 one, because we put the 4th generations at 16GB for $199 USD, which is pretty much, I'm guessing, was $349 over here in New Zealand, but I'm not too sure about that. But yeah, it's an 8GB, which was in 2011, and yeah. Conditions-wise, it's pretty scratched. It's not too bad. It had a case on for about a year or so. On the front, it's scratched, and the home button is broken. Well, it's stuck. It'll probably cost a bit to repair. As you can see, I'm trying as hard as I can to get it to click, but it won't click. So I have to use the on-screen. I don't know if you guys can tell, but in this corner, the screen is starting to delaminate from the glass. You might be able to tell. And it's all usually in the corners. Get frame here. See if I can get this side into frame. This side is not as noticeable, but it is there. You can't really tell on that side, but on the bottom, it is pretty noticeable. Yeah, you can see. You can see a little bit. So the iPod Touch 4 was very short-lived. It only lasted for 2 years for software updates. It didn't get iOS 7. That is because it only had 256 megabytes of RAM, which can really show in applications like Spotify, which lag like crazy. And usually, like, if you have a music app, it will take a while to load. And also, games just won't run on this thing anymore. I personally don't understand why Apple got the maybe iPod Touch 4th generation in 2012, alongside the iPod Touch 5th generation as a lower end option. I think what they should have done is just made a 5th generation 16GB instead. Because the iPod Touch 4th generation didn't make it to iOS 7, but the 5th generation did. Which, that's just a bit sad, being like only a year into owning this iPod, if anyone did, they wouldn't get it. Which I was disappointed when that happened, because I got it in in 2012, and it couldn't get me the latest software. Which I was sad. Another thing that the iPod Touch was known for was gaming, which you can no longer do anymore. As these are the games I have on here, and I'll give you a demonstration of Subway Surfer. Popular today and was popular back in 2012, 2013. As you can see, it just doesn't even try. It just crashes. As you can see, when I'm firing up Angry Birds Space, which used to be popular around that same time too, and you log in, I think it will just crash. Yeah, it just crashes. Now we're trying Cut the Rope. It is a bit of an easy game on the hardware. As you can see, it's not taking too long to load, but it's nothing like a new iPhone or a new iPod or an iPad. As you can see, it works fine. Oh. Now it's redirected me to this website. Stupid ads. And it crashed. Playing games like Minecraft aren't bad, aren't great, as it's an older version, and as you can see, it runs okay, but it's probably like one of the only games that run, but as you can see, it kind of lags, and you're on extremely outdated version, so yeah, I don't recommend it. But as you can see, when I'm in this area, it totally works fine. As you can see, when you're trying to fly around, it does have to render in, but it's actually not too bad. I thought it was worse. Maybe it's if you're using a bigger world, it might lag more. But as you can see, it's totally working fine for me. It just has to render in everything every now and then. So, this is what audio and video quality looks like on the iPod Touch, 4th generation. As you can see, it's quite different, and when we look at the keys, it is pretty grainy, pretty just bad. And also, it's another little bit of a thing of an Apple charger and just a yellow USB charger, and it just doesn't look good with this camera. And here are some photos and videos to compare the iPod Touch 4th generation to the 6th generation. See if you can see the difference. So, Do I recommend you pick up one of these? I personally don't recommend you pick up one, as it is old, outdated, and slow. You can't play any modern games doing things like Spotify. They can work if you have one already, but I don't recommend you pick up one anymore. Despite on how cheap they are and how easy they are, but the reason why, like I said, they don't work with modern apps, and they are pretty easily to get broken with things like the home button and apparently the microphone on it. So, if you're wondering how you got this effect with your music, here we are. I'll show you. So first you need a device with iOS 6. So I have my 4S and my iPod Touch. I'm going to show you on my iPod Touch. So you've chosen your song. Double tap into this menu, and you need to have accessive touch on. So turn that on, go into here, and just go device back, and just do this. Keep doing this, until this happens. As you can see, it just goes away. The slide to unlock, your time, and the cool part is, when you lock your device, it shows you your Wi-Fi and your battery. And yeah. I think it's a really cool little hidden thing. If anyone knows about it, comment down, as well as what I should call my channel. Otherwise, thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Thank you.